Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Crew vs. Culture podcast. This is Jeremy. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I really, really appreciate that as always. I'm excited to be able to be back on and share a little bit about kind of what's been going on in my mind. I actually tried several times to record this last week, and for some reason, it just wasn't my week. I don't know what it was, but I just had to kind of give up and wait for a another time to get going. So hopefully this time works out. Actually, I want to share with you, like I said, I tried to do this last week. So this is a message that I shared with the football team that I've been working with. They have a theme every week, and last week their theme was discipline. And so just had some thoughts about that I wanted to share with them and really kind of as I dug into what I was going to say and my thoughts on it, I feel like it's definitely something that a lot of people probably need to hear and think about. And so, like always, I'm not on here sharing these things, especially about this specific topic, because I am an expert or because I've got it all figured out. Like I said, we're going to talk about discipline today. Discipline for me is an absolute struggle. And so I'm not coming at you from the perspective of somebody that is a guru. I'm coming at you from somebody that is just wanting to get better and is striving to grow and learn. And, I feel like everything is easier when you have a support group, when you have a team, a tribe with you. And sometimes it's good just to hear that other people are doing and feeling and facing the same things and same struggles as you are. And so that's the reason that I do a lot of this stuff. But getting into discipline, so doing some doing some reading, some a little bit of research into it before I talk with them, I kind of learned something that was pretty neat. And that's the three types of discipline. So you have active, you have reactive, and you have proactive. And just to quickly kind of summarize those, active, you're looking at like present time, right now, the choices that you're making as the day goes. So if, let's say, you're on a diet and you're trying to be disciplined with this diet and stick to it, well, you walk past a tray of cookies. Do you remain disciplined and keep going and ignore it, or do you break down, have a weak moment, and eat the cookies that you know you're not supposed to? That's active discipline. Reactive discipline. It's reactive discipline is also kind of in the present time, but we're dealing with things that we do not have time to really think through. It's almost a reaction that our mind and our body are doing because there's no time to truly think through the process. Reactive, like I shared with the football team, I think a great correlation, that we can kind of see what that is you've got these players that are they're playing and giving everything they have during a game, and the tensions are high, the emotions are high, you're starting to kind of get worn down. Well, now you got somebody that's pushing you around after a play, or that's really trying to verbally assault you to get you out of your off your game, or kind of get you in a headspace that's going to get you in trouble basically. And so, we don't have a lot of time to think about that sometimes. You get pushed, and instantly you're faced with the choice of what you're going to do with it before you have time to think. And so that's that reactive discipline. Are you going to be disciplined enough to just move on, keep doing your job, and not engage in whatever shenanigans somebody's trying to evoke you into? Or are you going to have that knee jerk reaction and engage in that verbal or physical, you know, back and forth, which is going to, of course, if we're talking football, it's going to incur a penalty for your team. Or in life, it's going to incur some type of penalty. And so I feel like that one, you, if you haven't done any work to maybe gain some maturity, maybe gain some physical or mental restraint in yourself, those are things that are going to be harder for you to maintain because there isn't time to think. It's a reaction in the moment. And the last one is proactive. Proactive is something that we're doing today and being disciplined about today so that we can get results that we want in the future. This is oh, I guess you can kind of correlate it to just having a consistent workout route schedule. You can have a consistent sleep schedule. If you are being disciplined about your sleep and getting good sleep, well, that puts you in a better place tomorrow and next week and next month. And so it's just we're paying the price now to get the benefits and the rewards in the future. But I think those are some great ways to look at it because they're all a little bit different. And with discipline, we all struggle with different areas of it. We all struggle in different ways. Things that are easy for me to choose may be very difficult for you to choose, maybe require a lot more discipline for you to do the right thing. Whereas for me, it's like I don't see why it's so hard. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of a cool way to even break it down further as far as the choices we're making. Are they active? Are they reactive? Are they proactive as far as our discipline? And as I'm describing that, and this is what I kind of talk with the team to really try to make it as simple as possible. Discipline it just comes down to choices. It's just about the choices that we're making. Are we disciplined really describes or really is asking, are we making good choices when it comes to the parameters that we have to live within, the rules that we have to abide by, the the area that we can work within? And that's really it. That's what encompasses discipline. And so if we make it kind of simple like that, it maybe it's a little bit easier for us because when honestly, when I hear the word discipline and self-discipline and I think about the areas that I need to really work at it in my life, it can be overwhelming because I know how hard it is. But if I break it down into that perspective and tell myself, okay, it's just about choices and we're going to just focus on one choice at a time. So this is the choice I have to make right now. This is the area that I have to be disciplined in right now. So just stay disciplined with this one choice right now and move on. And we have to make hundreds and maybe even thousands of choices a day just as humans. A lot of those they're they're just made without us even knowing it. Our body, our minds, that we just do it. But then there are some choices that are obviously harder to make, that obviously require a lot more of us, a lot more thinking, and a lot more, like we're talking about, discipline to head the right way. And so I I think that if we can make things simpler on ourselves, it makes things more doable, if that's really even a word. But that's kind of where I wanted to start with. And so if we look at life, there's so many things that we can tie this to and tie the the discipline in our lives, and it can be overwhelming, like I said. And so what I also want to kind of maybe suggest is where does it truly count? Where in your life do you need to get disciplined because it truly matters? And then that's where we need to focus on. For me, now I'm 45. I don't even, it's weird even saying it, but I swear recently, just within the past few months, something has happened in my body that has no longer accepted the previous fact of the rest of my 45 years that I could eat anything I want to and it doesn't matter. It definitely has changed. That age has finally caught up to me, and I'm having to really have some discipline about what I'm eating. And it's frustrating. It's truly frustrating. And really it just comes down to me being a baby about it. It's really not that hard. But that is an area for me. I have to really buckle myself down and lock it in. And so that's going to be something I focus on. Discipline for me always is just, where's my time going? That's something I've always struggled with, and something I've been very, you know, open about on this podcast, just balancing my time and priorities. That's something I have to stay disciplined about. What am I saying yes to? Because when I say yes to something, I'm saying no to something else. And this has been a constant struggle in my life, especially at home, just trying to maintain some discipline to keep my priorities where they should be. And so, these are just given two examples of for myself. And that's what truly counts for me. There are others, yes, but those are two really big ones, especially right now, that I have got to focus on. And so at least it makes it easier because I have a couple points to focus on instead of just everything that I need to be disciplined at. And so, something else that I talked to the, the guys about that I really want to share with you is, and I don't even know where I heard this. It's been a long time, but I I heard this quite a while back, and I truly believe it, and I truly think it's a powerful thing to think about and reflect on. But really, there's two types of people. There are the type of people that are disciplined to touch the line every time, and then there are the people that are not disciplined and they're going to stop short and cut corners. And so what does that mean? So if really kind of putting yourself in a place like we're running sprints. If you haven't done that in a while, take yourself back to a time when you were running sprints. When you're running sprints, especially, the back and forth, you have some point that signifies, okay, now I turn around and go back. It could be a yard line on a football field. It could be a baseline in baseball. It could be a foul, free throw, 3-point line, whatever in basketball, or a wall, whatever it is. You got to touch something so that you can come back. So you have the two people. You have the group of people that are going to be disciplined and they are going to touch the line every time. They're going to go down. They're going to go as far as they have to go, do what they have to do, finish that first part, touch the line, and go back. They do their job. They finish the task every time. That requires discipline. And then you have the group that don't. They come up short. They take shortcuts. They try to cheat the system. If you're watching a team, especially like a high school level team, you're going to see this. I promise you. You're going to see at least somebody who stops short. If they're going down to touch the wall, they might even come within 5 to 6 inches of the wall. But they can't push themselves to just go that little bit further. It's just a little bit further, but they don't. And then as they get more tired, it becomes further and further away. And pretty soon they're stopping a couple feet short. And so when I bring this up, it's truly a powerful thought for me, because this is showing the character that you have. This is describing who you are. Are you the person that is going to do your job, finish the task, touch the line every time, and be disciplined to do it and to be trusted with that when it really doesn't matter? Or are you going to be somebody who's trying to find a way to just do a little bit less? I'm going to do just enough to not raise any eyebrows, but just barely as much as I have to do. Because from this point on, like I said, these are times when nothing matters. It There's no stress tied to that moment. There's nothing. You're not winning or losing games in real time at that moment. Yeah, your actions may be affecting the future, but there's nothing riding on that moment. No stress, no true, just, nothing that you're going to physically gain or lose right then. So if that is your mindset in that moment, that it doesn't matter, how can I trust when it does matter that you are going to do what you are supposed to do, that you're going to do your job, that you're going to finish the task, that I can count on you, that I can trust you? And that's a big deal. If we're talking about the fire service world, which I assume most of the people listening to this are associated with, or the sports world, or the medical world, or the financial world, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. If you are cutting corners to just barely scrape by with the bare minimum, especially when it doesn't matter, then how are people going to trust you when it does matter? And here's another thing: is that don't think for a second that it goes unnoticed. Because just like I said, you're watching a high school team running sprints. It doesn't take very long to pick out, okay, that one, and that one haven't truly touched the line or the wall the entire time. So I guarantee you coaches know. I guarantee you there's probably a few players know. And the players who know are going to talk to other players. So translate that into the adult world. I guarantee you there are people around you that know and that see you cutting corners. So it's not a secret. What are you gaining by it? What are you truly gaining any energy? Are you truly gaining any, satisfaction? There's nothing to gain by it. Just finish the job, finish the task, see it through. Have the integrity to do what you say you are going to do what is expected of you. This a quote that I probably should even let off with. It almost kind of encompasses everything that, especially I'm talking about right now, is our actions reveal our true character. What is the character that your actions are saying you have? Because you can talk all day long about who you are, about what your priorities are, about what, just what values you live by, and this and that. But what are your actions saying? Because if you're telling me that you're, you know, way up here on the scale, but your actions are way down here on the scale, I'm not going to listen to anything you say. I'm going to pay attention to your actions. That's how you truly see through to what people are. Your actions reveal your true character. So what are these people that are stopping short or trying to cut corners, or that, as soon as somebody's not looking, they completely do something they're not supposed to do? What is that showing of the character that they have? It's not good, right? It's not. So it's something definitely to think about. Little actions, even if they're the littlest minute actions, that are going to reveal who we are. And sometimes it's not a good sight, even for ourselves. There's been lots of times where I've looked back at my actions and thought, man, that's not who I want to be. Why did I do that? Lots and lots and lots of times. Why did I make those choices? Why did I do those things? Because that is not the person, for one, I not the person I thought I was, but it's definitely not the person I want to be. And so just gives us something to think about. And this is where I'll end it. And this is where I ended it with the guys too. What really keeps this all moving, keeps this machine rolling, this discipline machine, is accountability. And first, we have to start with being accountable to ourselves, for our actions, taking responsibility for everything that we're doing. If our actions reveal a very low or weak character, we have got to take responsibility for that. We have got to be, we've got to hold ourselves accountable for that, and we've got to change it. So that's obviously where it needs to start, but it it won't thrive there. It won't survive there very long. I mean, I know that you can go on YouTube and see hours and hours of people that are just motivated beyond any human being level should be motivated. And they're just preaching discipline and how you just got to do it, and whatever. But that is such a vast minority of people. There's so many people out there that doesn't resonate, because they don't see it that way. They don't feel that way. And not that they can't get there, or not that they can't at least get closer, but I think there needs to be some vulnerability and some openness to say that, that's not how I see it. It's not easy. It's not easy for me. It's a struggle. And if it's a struggle for you, it's okay. You just got to keep going, keep chipping away, keep moving forward. Because the people that, they're struggling, and you see somebody that is basically just, you know, blowing through life and disciplined in every way, well, that doesn't resonate with me. That doesn't speak to me. That just makes me feel way worse. So it needs to be said that that's not the true reflection of most people, I would say. Most people struggle with it. And so if that is you as well, it's all right. But what is going to help you is stop depending on yourself to be the only reason that you stay disciplined. If you have a team behind you, if you have a group, a family, a tribe that is going to help you maintain accountability, it becomes so much easier, because we're going to have weak times. The bigger our tribe or our team is, the more chances that even when we are weak, there's going to be somebody there that is strong. Some days I'm going to have to use your strength because I won't have any. Some days I'm going to have to use your drive and your passion because I'm going to be weak. But that's the beauty of being in a team, is you have that. You have that option. And just as you will be, using them on your weekdays, you will be needed on theirs. Being accountable, holding others accountable to stay living up to the standard, to meet the requirements that you are putting in place, to live and perform at your best, to reach your full potential. That is what team accountability is going to achieve beyond what you're going to be able to achieve just by yourself. And so, we're there to pick each other up. That's how we make this all work so much better. It's still going to be hard, but these are the ways that we can make it better. These are the ways that we can grow and become stronger every day. And so really that's all I got to say. I hope that there was something in there that you could pick out and maybe, think about, reflect on. And I think there's a lot to be said about it. Like I said, it's a struggle for me, so I'm definitely not trying to say I know it all. I wish I did, but I don't. It's hard, it sucks, but it's just part of the process. If we want the results, if we want to, pursue the purpose that we were placed here for, we have to embrace that process. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Hope to be back on soon. And until next time, stay humble and do work.